Hello everyone, the Empire Ian here with stuff I got in Japan. If you didn't see the first one of these, I showed off all the cards I got in Japan in a video on my main channel, the Empire Ian, so you might want to go check that out. Here on Tomb of the Empire Ian, I'm going to be showing you everything else, except for my shirts, because the shirts are going to be really hard to show off with my current setup, and I don't want you to identify me in public, frankly. I hope that's okay with you, because it certainly is okay with me. I'm also using the Talk Sprite instead of the regular model because, unlike the card game one, this one is going to involve a lot of moving around and just like odd shaped objects. So it's just going to be easier to go with the Talk Sprite here. And I know all the stuff here. Unlike the cards where I forgot some of the stuff I had, there's not going to be any like reactions or anything here really. So you know, you're not really missing much. First up though, Animal Museum tie. This is from the oh man, it's giving you a reflection of my computer screen. Luckily there's nothing there that matters, but this is a tie, obviously. I got it from the Natural History Museum there. I guess the National Science Museum is what they call it. Here in America we would call it a Natural History Museum. But yeah, it's the Tokyo Museum of Science essentially. And you know, it has a lot of fossils and such, which is why they have such a fossil themed tie. I like this. I like ties. I like bow ties. I like ties. You might be able to tell. And so I decided to just go ahead and pick one up. I guess next up we'll just show this off. This is a little cardboard Pikachu hat that I used as packing material to make sure I didn't cut into anything important. But it is very cute as well. It's obviously it's Pokemon Horizons themed. There was some sort of Pokemon Horizons promotion going on with the Tokyo Sky Tower, or Sky Tree, I think is what it's called, actually. And they were giving those out for free. It's neat. Next up, Evangelion. It's a little washcloth. So the thing about little washcloths, you're going to see a lot of little washcloths here, because little washcloths in Japan are like a major like gift shop item. I feel like they're not as much here in America, but in Japan they are all over the place. There's like so many of these things. This one is like some of the only Evangelion stuff I actually found. There's some more in here, but it was a little harder to find Evangelion stuff than you might think. Although I did find plenty of Evangelion like themed things, just not a lot of stuff to buy, right? But yeah, this one I think is just a regular ass washcloth. A lot of these are actually like sweat rags too, because in summer in Japan it's so hot. A lot of people are carrying around sweat rags to just wipe the sweat off their brow. I don't know that this one would be a good sweat rag though, so I don't know. It is like microfiber though, so that's nice. All right, here's my Namco Tokyo bag. I went to the Bandai Namco place. Not all the stuff in here is from there though. It's just a handy bag for storing things. Here's a cool thing. This is a mask. It's like a Mechagodzilla mask where it has the you could see that there. It's the front like chest plate of Mechagodzilla. And it's just like a mask you can wear. I should pull this out and start using it because things are getting pretty bad with the illnesses again. It's not COVID, really, although COVID's still around too. But we are really getting some bad H5N1 stuff going on, so that's nice to have. I already have another mask, but like that one's cool. That one's really cool. So this is the little sushi guy from Pokemon, Tatsu, whatever the hell his name is. It's a little finger puppet. These finger puppets, you can find them in America, usually at little import stores. But they're just around in Japan, as you might expect. Pokemon Kids brand, apparently. So the finger puppets are like for kids, I guess, because they're a little harder to swallow. I'm just going to have to put these around here just to have a place to put them. Here's a little bag with Sora Kingdom Hearts talking to Pooh. This is like the one thing of Kingdom Hearts merch I found. I wanted more. I have never actually played. Well, that's not true. I've played Kingdom Hearts, but I've only played the first Kingdom Hearts, and I got lost in Traverse Town trying to find Goofy and Donald. So I have not played very much at all. But I really like watching people play it, and this is just like such a cute little bag. I don't really have much use for a bag like this, but you know, I like it a lot. Okay, one thing you'll find a lot of in Japan is keychains. This keychain's really cool. It's also one of the few keychains to feature Rodan, and Rodan is one of my favorite Godzilla monsters. So I definitely had to have that. Looks like we're gonna have a bunch of keychains here because I've just found another one. This Space Godzilla one is actually really nice art. I love the art on this. These acrylic keychains are fairly popular these days. This is my first time actually buying anything like this, and it's basically only because I was in Japan and they're all over the place there. Okay, so you'll notice I haven't really removed all of these from the packaging. These guys I'm intending. I have. So let me show you something real quick. So I have this little tree here, this little metal tree, and I'm using it to store all these little plushy keychains. Most of these are from aquariums. This, obviously, the Shaman is not. That was just from like a book off, I think, just like a thrift store. But like this Perulia, sorry, this seal, Perulia, fucking hell. This otter, and this manta ray are all from an aquarium I went to. I think that might have been the Osaka Aquarium. I really love them. And then these the Opabinia and Anomalocaris, Paleozoic Opabinia, are from the National Science Museum as well. And I think having a little tree to display keychains is so cool. So that's what I'm intending to do with these, which is why I haven't taken them out yet, because I haven't found another tree to put them on. But I also haven't removed a lot of other things, like this little Ultraman. Let me get a good look at it. Yeah, there's a little Ultraman, also a finger puppet, little plastic finger puppets. Plastic finger puppets are all over the place. So many of them, but especially Pokemon. Okay, so here's another acrylic keychain. This one is... So, I'm gonna have to explain this one. So there's a children's cartoon of Godzilla in Japan. I don't know if it's actually run on any networks, but it is run on the TVs at the Godzilla stores. And it's little chibi-fied, cutesy, cartoony versions of the Godzilla monsters, and this one is Biollante. And that's just adorable. That's incredible. I also got some more generic stuff. This is like a keychain of a Naginata. I think Naginatas are super cool. That one I might have gotten from the Japanese Sword Museum, or maybe I got that one from Osaka Castle. The history museums just have sort of more generic touristy kind of stuff, so it was harder to get like little keepsakes for them, but that weren't just like generic crap like that. But you know, it is what it is. That same style as that Space Godzilla, but it's Biollante. And these all come with like the name of the creature there as a separate keychain, which is I think cool. This one's super sick. This is a magnet, which means I shouldn't put it too close to my monitor or my camera. But yeah, this is oh god, how to explain this? So those little hamsters are Hamtaro. For those who don't know, Hamtaro, a very popular franchise in Japan, about little hamsters, big adventures. You know, Hamtaro. But the thing about Hamtaro is that they don't really... I don't think they make a show of it anymore, but they do make movies every so often. Or at least they used to. And they were making them around the same time they were still making Godzilla movies on a regular basis. So Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah Giant Monster All Out Attack was the first Godzilla film to be... I think it was the first Godzilla film to be a double feature with a Hamtaro movie, because Toho Studios is also it not only makes the Godzilla films, but is also in charge of the Toho Animation is in charge of the Hamtaro brand, at least as far as the movies go. Toho is a little bit of a megacorp. They kind of have a bit of a monopoly, particularly, in America, we don't have, we have a law that says like movie companies can't own theaters. So like Disney cannot own theaters, a theater company like AMC. That is not the case in Japan. Toho owns its own theaters, which means that they have complete control over what gets shown in their theaters. They give their own movies priority, which is part of what has allowed them to survive in the onslaught of American film. So it's weird, monopolies in colonized, in imperialized countries, countries that have been, culturally subsumed by America. It's a little bit of a they're not good, but they also are like protecting local industry from American imperialism, right? It's a rough situation. I do not envy it. But because of that, they made little Hamtaro in Godzilla suit merch for that, and it became like a really popular thing. So you'll see a bunch of these types of things throughout the course of this video. But yeah, you can see the like possessed Godzilla from Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah Giant Mozzarella Attack in the background there. A very strange one to be the movie that Hamtaro has a double feature with, because like that movie's dark, dog. That's like one of the darker Godzilla movies. Like it's probably not it's not as dark as Shin Godzilla or -1, but like beyond the first Godzilla, it's probably the darkest Godzilla movie up to that point, right? So it's crazy that that's the one that has the fucking Hamtaro crossover. Okay, here's another one of these finger puppets. This one is the two different whoopers on top of each other. This one's a little bit more expensive. 1,000 yen is kind of pricey for a little finger puppet. That's like $6. But this one is just like so adorable. I couldn't leave without it. I love that it's just both of them on top of each other. What next? Oh, okay. So I went to a pop-up store. Pop-up stores are stores that just pop up and are there temporarily. There's a lot of places in Japan where there's just like not anything there, and then you can just have it's just like space for a pop-up store to pop up and then disappear, like Halloween or what is it called? Spirit Halloween does in America, but like more regular and more franchise based, like Freerin. So I went to a Freerin pop-up store / art exhibition. It is like you had to pay to get in, and then you were able to go and see mostly blown up stills from the anime, unfortunately, but there was some you actually got to see some of the line work, and that was really cool. They had some of the storyboards and line work for the anime, and that was really nice to see. And they actually had some videos of showing the pre-animation process of the storyboards doing the work, and then or the main frames without the in-betweens. It was really cool to see. And they also had some statues of some of the stuff, like just like full-size statues of like the statue of Himmel, like that kind of thing, or the scene where Himmel proposes to Freerin and she's like, huh? I wish that show was Yuri, but anyways, they also then had a gift shop afterwards that had a ton of Freerin merch, and that's awesome because I actually really love Freerin. I think it's a really good show. If it were Yuri, it would be perfect, honestly. But yeah, it was really nice, and I got a lot of Freerin merch that you're going to see over the course of this. What you're also going to see is a lot of Godzilla stuff. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, as you can probably know from my podcast, The Kaijus in the Details. I stayed in the Godzilla Hotel. There's a hotel. The building is owned by Toho Studios. Remember how I said Toho's a bit of a monopoly? There's a hotel on the top floors of the building. The building has a giant life-size statue of Godzilla, at least his head anyways, and his claws. That is just there in Shinjuku, which is a district of Tokyo. Is essentially a city within Tokyo. Tokyo is like a city that has cities within it. Because that's how fucking big it is. And it also, it roars and has like steam come out of it that it has the light to make it look like the fire breath of Godzilla. It's pretty cool. And of course, they have a shop there, and that's where I got these magnets. These are magnets of Godzilla movie posters. We've got the Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, Giant Monster All Attack, one of my favorite movies. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. This poster is fantastic. I actually have a print of this poster. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, this poster is also pretty good. Godzilla vs. Biollante, unfortunately, this is not the one that is done by the same artist here. That one is fantastic. This one is fine. It's just a scene for the movie. I think it's a really good scene, though, so, good pick. I also have another set of these magnets that are like already from when my mom went to Japan, and those are really cool, too. Okay, here's another one of those free run ones. I love these. They just look like, the crew is being like picked up and dragged around. They're cute. Here's from when I went to Tokyo Tower. It's just a little keychain of Tokyo Tower. It's not much special, but I wanted something from there. Okay, so Japan, in addition to having the Godzilla Hotel with the Godzilla store, also has like 2 separate Godzilla stores. And this is from one of them. I think this is from the Tokyo one. There's one in Osaka and there's one in Tokyo. I think this is from the Tokyo one. There's also the Godzilla Museum in Awaji Island, which has its own store, as you might imagine. So there's 4 separate Godzilla stores that I went fucking wild on, because I am, I may be a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I may do a lot of Pokemon stuff. But Godzilla is my number one. My favorite movie of all time is the original Godzilla. Godzilla is what I grew up with. Godzilla is who I am. I love Godzilla so much. And so there's a lot of Godzilla stuff. I spent way too much on Godzilla stuff. And I really like this keychain. It's the 50th anniversary of Megalon. I think Megalon's a really underrated kaiju design. And the movie is not as bad as people say it is. It is bad, do not get me wrong, but it's not as bad as people say it is. This is from one of the aquariums. I believe this is from the Osaka Aquarium, because the Osaka Aquarium has a whale shark. Whale sharks are very hard to keep in captivity. They're extremely hard to keep in captivity. So hard to keep in captivity that you probably shouldn't keep them in captivity. But I really did want to see one, because they're just such majestic beauties of nature. You have to have a massive tank to fit one. And Osaka Aquarium does in fact have a massive tank. In fact, it is so big that the entire museum or entire aquarium is built around it. You go around and around the tank over and over again as you go down further into you start at the top and go down into the museum or aquarium, and you just continually circle this tank and get different views of it. And the shark in there is fantastically huge. You usually only see whale sharks in captivity in Asia. I don't know exactly what it is, whether it's regulation differences or what, but you can find whale sharks in captivity in specifically Atlanta Aquarium. So if you do want to see whale sharks and you're locked to America, Atlanta is where you want to go. They have 2 in captivity, I believe, or maybe it's just 1 now. I know one of them died at one point. Here's another keychain. Mechagodzilla, but it's being like torn apart. It's a little cartoony. It's a little more of a plush keychain. It's a little squishy, instead of being like the acrylic kind. I like that. I think it's neat. It's a cool keychain. I like that a lot. Next up. Oh yeah, here's another Tokyo Tower thing. This one is crazy. I don't like that's supposed to be representing the Tokyo Tower because it has the general shape of it, and then like there's a moon and star thing going on for some reason. This one, it looks like a crossover between Sailor Moon and Star Trek, right? Like it looks insane. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty neat. Little Palfin keychain, little Pokemon guy. So these ones are going to be kind of hard to see because they're still in their bubble wrap. I might actually have to take them out. I kind of don't want to because they are very fragile. If I can just take them out without permanently fucking up the tape, that'd be nice. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Let's see here. Oh, no, that tape is like That tape there, which is also like it has a little fish design. It's like specifically branded tape for the aquarium, is not gonna come off that easily. This one I can just slide out and show you. So this is a little penguin clay figure. This is from one of the many aquariums I went to. I'm not actually sure which one. I went to like 3 or 4 different aquariums. It was crazy. But it's a little clay figure, and it has a fortune inside, actually, which is pretty cool. I like this guy a lot. I like it just for the clay figure, but the fact that it has a fortune inside is actually a really cool cultural item. I think that's really neat. Put it back inside its bubble wrap so it's nice and safe. This, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. You could kind of see it. I'm having trouble pull this guy out. Oh, there we go. You can see the face of that bit there. It's it's one of those garden eels. It's a little magnet that can stick on your fridge. You can like stick it on your fridge, and it's one of those little garden eels. So it looks like it's like sticking its head out of your fridge or whatever. It's cute. It's a cute little idea. I definitely got those from the same place. So whatever aquarium I got those from. It was the same for both of them. All right, here's another keychain from the Freerin place. As you can see, it is there we go. Yeah, it's one of the storyboards of Freerin getting stuck in the Mimic. It's like it's really cool that they made keychains of those. Like I like that they made keychains of the fucking storyboards. Here's the only Miku thing I found that I liked. There was other Miku things around, but I just did not like any of it. This is the only Miku thing I found that I actually liked. Besides, I guess, the statues that were like just too expensive out of my budget. I say out of my budget, and I'm like showing you all this crap I got, but like I tried to stay reasonable on the prices I paid for things, if not the amount of things that I got. Here's some gachapons. All right, I think I'm getting to the end of this bag. So here's a keychain from the Tokyo History Museum. It's a dogu. I thought the dogu was super cool. Nice to see it in person. So yeah, these gachapons are interesting. So this gachapon here is actually like kind of weird. It's a Fire Emblem Engage gachapon. And you might be like, well, okay, what makes it specifically Fire Emblem Engage? Besides, like, does it just have the characters? No, it's a ring. Like the Fire Emblem Engage rings, where they use the rings to get the souls of the previous champions. So it's one of the rings. I don't remember who this character is. It's not one I actually know, which is unfortunate. It was... Irika? Yeah, it's Irika. I don't know Irika. If you know Irika, pop off in chat, I guess. I literally, if it had been any of the other ones, I would have known it. I've played a little bit of the Fire Emblem that Lynn is part of, so I know her. I know Lucina, I know Ike, I know Byleth, and I know Corrin. I just don't know Irika at all. So that was a little unfortunate for me. But I thought that was like an interesting gachapon, so I went for that one. I didn't get a whole lot of gachapons, but that was an interesting one, so I was like, okay, sure. Here's another interesting one. You'll notice the pattern here is like I went for ones that I thought were like interesting rather than ones that I'm like, oh, I want that. Because if you want that, you're not going to get it. That's just simply how it works. This gachapon here is a fucking goblin shark. It's like a little goblin shark statue. Isn't that crazy? They just have like these science themed gachapons or like animal themed, that are like all over the place. I feel like I saw, because I guess you don't have to pay for a character then. I saw almost as many of these like just like, oh, this is a bug themed gachapon than I did ones that were character themed. Like this one, I don't even have to open this one. You can just see that's Oxnard from Hamtaro. There is one Hamtaro gachapon that I did go to it, and I thought that was a cute one. I do like Hamtaro. Hamtaro is a very cute series. Okay, I'm going to put all these things back in the bag, and then I'll be right back with the next thing. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is some of the stuff I've already set up in my room. Like this guy. This is a little slime plush from Dragon Quest, but it's got a little squish ball in there. So it's actually like a little stress ball. I have this guy right on my desk here, and he's just like a little fidget toy now. He feels really nice. I like the consistency of him. He's really neat. I like him a lot. Next up, I'm going to pull this from my shelf. I already showed off my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I got, like the Yu-Gi-Oh statues and such, but I also got some other statues. I went ham on statues. I'm not usually a statue person, but I did go a little bit on ham on statues because statues are one of the easiest items to find in Japan, especially for cheap sometimes. Like this one, this Freerin eating a piece of bread statue. I don't know why there's a Freerin eating a piece of bread statue, but I have it now. I think that's extremely funny. Speaking of Freerin, we've also got Fern. Fern's got a little bit of hair on her. Okay, there we go. I need a dust, apparently. Sorry. Yep, this is just Fern. Her head is really tiny. I don't know why her head is so tiny. But getting the Fern there allows me to also grab my Dungeon Meshi figure. We've got Marcial from Dungeon Meshi, and this figure actually looks quite nice, especially for the price. This was not expensive at all. I think this is the Pop-Up Parade one. Pop-Up Parades are not very particularly expensive, and you get decent quality out of them, so I'm pretty happy about this. It's of similar quality to... hold up, this is going to be a pain to pull out, but this is not something I got from Japan. This is a Dark Magician Girl pop-up I got. You might have seen the Dark Magician Girl I got while I was in Japan in the previous Yu-Gi-Oh video, but I got this one from a convention in America. I think this is a pop-up parade as well, and I actually really like this one a lot better than the one I got in Japan, even though it's like I think a less expensive item. But I really do like it a lot. All right, next up, another break here as I put these things back in order. One thing I do want to show you is that I do actually have a Magatama, like a little aventurine rather, Magatama, just like it's just green, just like the one in Ace Attorney. It's pretty cool. I did not get this while I was in Japan. My mom got it when she was in Japan, but I do really like it, and I wanted to show it off. All right, next up we've got okay, so vinyl figures. We got vinyl figures. This is Hedera, spaceship form, I guess you would say, when Hedera is like in the flying form. Hedera is Godzilla monster, for those who don't know. Godzilla and Ultraman have a huge vinyl figure market. Just tons and tons of vinyl figures made for both of those like franchises. And I have been collecting Godzilla vinyl figures for about as long as I have been existing. Like my parents used to get me vinyl figures at conventions and as like toys for me to play with. So I have a lot of vintage vinyl figures that are very scuffed up because I played with them very hard. And the thing about them though is that they're very expensive here in America because you have the import fees on top of everything. It's a lot to continue collecting these things, and the quality's kind of gone down a little bit on the vinyl figures a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to justify the price a lot of times. And so going to Japan, the import fees aren't there, and the Japanese yen is particularly weak to the dollar, so I was able to pick up quite a few of these vinyl figures that I had spent so long acquiring, and I was able to fill out a lot of my collection that I hadn't previously. Like this, I didn't even know they made. Like some of these, I didn't even know they made because they haven't like been common in America at all. I didn't know they made this, right? So here, I'm going to show off a bunch of these now because I have them all in one bag. Here's Batra. They made Batra larval form. I don't have any Batra at all, so it was really nice to see both this and later I'll have the non-larval form as well. Gorosaurus. Gorosaurus is like such an underappreciated kaiju. Like he's just a dinosaur, right? He's like from the King Kong movies, so nobody gives a shit about him. He just shows up in Destroy All Monsters, but he's like a backup guy who showed up only because Baragon's costume was destroyed. So nobody cares about him, but they made a final figure of him, and I have it now. Gamera has vinyl figures too. Gamera, another kaiju franchise. This is Jiger, a guy whose name you have to be very careful when you say it. It's Jiger. It's not anything else. They even have like modeled his little suction cup feet that he uses to, suck things in. They didn't model his like tail spike, but that is retractable, so whatever. I was excited to see these. These guys were made in like the 90s, and so they're not easily found except at thrift stores or the secondhand stores, I should say, because they're not exactly like thrift stores we have in America. They're really more secondhand stores. Old school Gauss, that's really cool. I have like a modern Gauss figure, although I do need to probably get another one because I did break the fucking fingers on it from my vigorous play as a kid. And these fingers are not particularly stable, you might notice. But yeah, Gauss is very cool. Hey, speaking of Baragon, we got Baragon too. Isn't that cool? Old school Baragon. I love him. Such a funny little guy. I love his ears. I did get one Ultraman. I'm not a huge Ultraman guy. I've not watched a lot of Ultraman. But there is one Ultraman guy I couldn't deal without. It's fucking Dino Tank. Dino Tank? Anyone? Dino Tank? That's just such an incredible kaiju design. I had to have it. It's so good. Oop. Okay, there we go. Godzilla -1. They had a Godzilla -1 guy, so I was like, sure, I'll just grab that. He has the painted blue spikes for he's doing his little fire breath. That's cool. Here's a nice one. This is like a kind of cartoony Hedorah. He has a little smokestack he's supposed to be smoking. This guy I actually got from the Toho Cinema, which is in the same building as the Godzilla Hotel. They had a little bit of Godzilla merchandise because it is a Toho Studios like place, like, right? They own the cinema, so they're gonna have a little bit of Godzilla merch, even though Godzilla, it doesn't have a movie in theaters currently, or when I was there, I mean. So I grabbed that because I really like the look of this guy, even though he's a bit expensive. Even in Japan, no import fees, this guy's a little bit expensive. Got a Varan. Varan is such an underappreciated kaiju that, like, yeah, you don't expect to see him. And they made it huge, too. He's a massive figure. That tail goes all the way out. Very cool. Put him in his plastic again, I guess. I don't know. I don't care that much. I'm not that much of a collector, you know what I'm saying? But if I have the plastic, I might as well put it in. Oop, sorry for the bump in the mic there. Here's the Batra, the full Batra form. Love to see that. Very cool. I love Batra. He's so cool. She? Who cares? Gender. I did get the modern Gauss. I actually did get a modern Gauss. This one, because it was really cheap. This guy went on huge sale at Don Quixote one of the last days I was there, or something like that. He was on massive sale, so I just went ahead and picked him up. I think he was like maybe a couple of bucks. Here's more of the Gamera stuff. This is Barugon, not to be confused with Baragon right here. This is Barugon with a U. Barugon, basically. You would say it when you say it normally instead of emphasizing the U. This guy's neat. I love that there's a figure of this little freak. He's such a weird looking creature. I love him. He made the same time as that Jiger figure in the 90s. Because, in the 90s they made those Gamera films that were actually good, so people started caring about Gamera again, and so they made figures of the old Gamera stuff. Here's Manda. Manda is just one long guy. That's all there is to it. It's not particularly posable at all. Like he moves his head or his neck, I mean, and that's it. It's actually kind of a shitty one, but it's the only Manda figure I saw. It's from Final Wars. It's the design for Final Wars, so it's not like the old school Manda. So if they ever have an old school Manda, I might pick that up too, just to get the both designs. But also, it's a very crappy figure. Sorry about that. Why am I apologizing? They're the ones that made it. Ooh, sorry about that big hit on the microphone. This one is crazy. Biolante, giant Biolante vinyl figure. This guy I was so happy to see. I love Biolante. And Biolante is a huge creature, so it's hard to like get stuff of him. So finding this for a decent price, I think is very cool. I love Biolante. I'm actually going to put that back in the... We've reached the end of the vinyl figures, so I can put that back because this is the last one. Rose Form Biolante. I definitely didn't expect to see a figure of this. Rose Form Biolante is like not even a fighting kaiju. Like it doesn't do a fight hardly at all. It gets blown up by Godzilla in one attack. So you don't actually expect to see this, but they did make one, and I own it now, which is really cool. I'm very happy about that. And then last thing that's in this bag, there's a little tiny Mechagodzilla thing. I think it was probably from a gacha. It's like a little thing that could fit in a gachapon. And it's just like a little guy you can build, and it's a little Mechagodzilla, old school Mechagodzilla specifically. It's neat. Not a vinyl figure, but it's still neat. All right, I'm gonna put these away, and I'll be right back. By the way, here's the bag I'm keeping them in. It's from the Awaji Island Park. It's a theme park, so they have like themed bags and such. It's really cool. Also, I want to say these vinyl figures are all over the place. Here in America, you kind of only get them from conventions or like import stores or what have you. You can occasionally get some of them imported normally to like Walmart or such, and like in little the cardboard things, in cardboard sales stuff. So you can buy them normally, but most of the time you only see most of these through imports. So you only see them in convention center. But these guys are all over the place in Japan. They're in the Godzilla stores, obviously, but they're also just like in regular department stores like Don Quixote, or like just your random places. You know, very random. You just go into a random store that has any amount of like video games or toys or something, and it'll just be there. Or like hobby stuff, you'll just be there, you know. So very cool to see them. All right, I'll be right back with the next thing. All right, this next bag is mostly full of like touristy shop things, I think. Here's one of those washcloths. This one's a bit more hefty. It's a little bit more to it. You see there's several layers there, so it's actually pretty large. This is from the Japanese Sword Museum. It says right there, the Japanese sword, and the museum's cut off. It's just various different guard designs for Japanese swords. You might be thinking, oh, the Japanese Sword Museum, that's really cool. You get to see a bunch of historic swords. No, the Japanese Sword Museum is a modern art museum. Every sword that is displayed at the Japanese Sword Museum is actually like made that year from a contest. They have it's like a club that makes, or like an organization, I guess, that makes Japanese, like continues the tradition of making Japanese swords, and the winners of various categories get displayed in the museum. It was actually really cool. A little boring, but really cool, because I'm a historian. I'm not really an art scholar, and a lot of the swords look kind of the same to me. But it's still really cool that they're making the swords still, and like they're creating a place to incentivize the making of those swords. Here's a little thing. It's Chibi Godzilla. It is also a bell. There's a little bell in there. Or I guess the bell's right here rather. And it's I guess you could put this on your kid and it tells you if they're running off. I guess. Oh yeah, I got a lot of these. These are Mankole, or Monster Collection, as it says right there. Mankole is just Japanese language loves to take words and like take the first part of each word. Like they take two words and take the first part of them to make a little portmanteau. These guys I have been collecting for quite a long time, just like the vinyl figures, although not quite as long. I discovered these on like the early days of Amazon wish lists, when then you would make a wish list for your like your grandparents to use, if they understood how to use Amazon at that point. And these guys are so cool. They're just little Godzilla figures, or not Godzilla, little Pokemon figures. Let me. I got my multi-tool here. Let me open it up and show you what I mean. I don't mind opening. I'm not one of those people who doesn't want to open their stuff. I just haven't gotten around to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, it's taped. That's why. All right, you see that? There's the figure. Here, I can actually pull it out of the plastic so you can see it even easier. So all the figures are basically like this. They're like little figures about, yay big. And they're pretty decently made. Like they're decently detailed. They're good. They're a decent paint job. Like nothing much to complain about. They're pretty nice. I like them a lot. I've been collecting these for a long time. They're very expensive over here because of import fees. They're extremely cheap in Japan. I think these guys are kind of special. If I remember correctly, like these ones specifically are a little special. I think they were a little bit more expensive. Like I think they might have been 500 yen. And you might be thinking, wait, 500 yen? You were just saying that like 1,000 yen is like $6. When you're saying more expensive, you mean like it cost like a couple bucks. And yes, I do mean that. The regular price for these things, for like the normal ones, is like maybe a dollar. It's crazy. So like these things that are like supremely expensive, there's like huge markups on them in America. Like you're like sometimes you're looking at like $20 items here, $15 items. They're fucking dollars, like a dollar in Japan. It's insane. I have a lot more of them. I picked up so many while I was there, but I don't have access to all to them. Like we'll see more as we go. Here's a so ReZero, huh? I have watched ReZero. It is a fine show. It doesn't blow me away exactly. It is fine. I really like Rem though. She's really cute, and I got a little blind box of her. I got the one where she's super smiley, and that's pretty good. But it's also the one where she happens to be like sitting down. There's the lighting's better. Yeah, she's like sitting down. One of the few, like I think it's the only one where she's sitting down. But I did get that. Make that what you will. I didn't get any of the statues. There's a lot of statues of Rem, but none of them are her wearing her goddamn outfit from the show. They're always like, oh, here's Rem, sorry, in a bikini. There's a lot of Rey Evangelion in these as well. Like, oh, here's Rey in a fucking NASCAR racing uniform, right? That's not NASCAR. It's obviously not, because it's Japanese racing instead of American. But you know what I mean. It's like all that. Like, oh, here's Rem in a fucking Halloween costume. It's like, okay, great. What about in her fucking costume she wears in the goddamn show? I don't know. It just doesn't have the same appeal to me. Here's a cute little score bunny, little tiny figure. I like these little tiny figures. They're cheap and they're cute, and you can store a lot of them in one place. Here's another one of these Moncole. It's Darkrai. I got so many of these Moncoles because they're just so fucking cheap. Does this one say on it? I'm trying to see if one of them says what the exact price was, because I'm not remembering it off the top of my head. Here's another good one. Hisuian Typhlosion. Very cool. Love that. Baxcalibur. Here's a Keldeo finger puppet. It's a little bit translucent for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, here's another one of the Moncole. It's the Hisuian Zoroark. I love that design. Very cool. The Hisuian. I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon Legends Arceus, but the Hisuian designs take the cake. They're really nice. Here's a little guy. So I got this from the Osaka Castle Museum. Very cool place. Definitely enjoyed my visit. I will say Osaka Castle is the biggest propaganda network for Japanese nationalism I've ever been to. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to Ni no Kuni Shrine, so I didn't get to see the biggest Japanese nationalism propaganda network. But this one was pretty damn close, except for it's more of a mythical past instead of a rewriting World War II. But this little figure, based on the helmet design, is Oda Nobunaga. Isn't that cool? I like Oda Nobunaga. He's a fun little historical figure. Terrible person, I'm imagining. But so would everyone else back then, basically. Here's a washcloth from from one of the art museums, like the historic art museums there. I love that dog, dude. That dog is so derpy. It's so fucking good. It's perfect. I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to see this one particularly well. Oh, you do. Yeah, you can see that pretty well. This is Junketsu, I think. Or is it Senketsu? I don't remember the name, which one is which. But it's it's Ryuko's outfit from the living outfit from Kill la Kill. I think it's Ryuko is her name. It's the only Kill la Kill merch I actually saw there, so I thought that was pretty cool to see. Okay, this one I didn't get myself. My sister got this for me when she was at Tokyo Sea Disney, because I did not go to Sea Disney. So this is oh my god, what is his name? His name is the funniest part. How did I forget that? So Tokyo Disney, and a lot of the Asian Disney theme parks. Nobody gives a shit about Donald. Nobody gives a shit about the Disney characters. They do a little bit, but like these characters, they love a lot more. God, I just had blanking on their names. I should have looked it up beforehand. I just forgot I would have to talk about this at all. This guy has such a fucking funny name. He's very Italian. You can see the Disney right there in his paw print, though. Duffy, that's right. So yeah, there's like a whole cast of characters that was like briefly experimented with in Florida, but became really popular in overseas, particularly in Asia, which is the Duffy and Friends line. And they all have like the most insane names. I guess Duffy's not a hugely insane name. It's a little bit insane, but yeah, Duffy, Shelly May, Gelatoni. This is Gelatoni, my little Italian cat. Stella Lou, Cookie Ann. I think I also got a Cookie Ann thing. So I was just like, these guys have insane names. Olu Mel, Lena Bell. Oh, maybe it was Lena Bell instead of Cookie May. Or Cookie Ann, I mean. Cookie Ann is such a crazy name, though. And Tippy Blue. But yeah, these are like super popular Disney characters, except in America. Isn't that crazy? Here's like some sort of gachapon thing. It's Gigan. You build it. It has all the pieces there. I haven't done it yet. Here's a little the Fuecoco keychain, acrylic keychain with a little like fire themed miniature like lifesaver with him. It's cute. That was actually a prize from the Bandai Namco place. They had a thing where like if you did a certain number of pulls from a claw machine, like a Pokemon themed claw machine, you could get a random chance at something from this line. And this is the line. This is the one I pulled from that. He's neat. I like him. Or I like it. I think it's cute. Also, you get his Japanese name, Hogator. Interesting. Hogator. Bug warning. Whoa. Isn't that cool? This guy is like, I think he's from some gachapon as well. I did not get him from a gachapon. There's also this thing. It's part of him somehow. I don't know what's going on with that. But he's really cool. I think he's from a gachapon. I got him from so like the secondhand stores will just have the gachapon stuff that people didn't want and they gave to the secondhand store, just like available for you to buy. And I got that way. Here's the Smoliv. Here's a little Smoliv figure, little tiny Smoliv figure. Here's a Wooloo figure. Shout out to the sheep. Really cool Dynamax Dynamax or was it Gigantamax? Yeah, this is the second the big form. Gigantamax crow guy. What is his name? Corviknight. Very cool little another finger puppet. Very cool finger puppet. Oh shit. I missed a Yu-Gi-Oh merch. I missed one Yu-Gi-Oh merch. Slifer. A little Slifer gachapon thing. It looks like dog shit, but it is Slifer. There he is. It's Slifer. He feels like shit too. It's barely holding together too. Awful. Mothra finger puppet. I think this was from a blind box. They had a couple of finger puppet blind boxes for Godzilla characters. Little Azelf figure. Very cool. A miniature Osaka Castle keychain from Osaka Castle, as you might imagine. I like this a lot. I thought that was neat. Oh, here's a cool one. Okay, so one of the Sumida. Yeah, the Sumida aquarium, which I guess was from where the garden eel and the penguin thing was from, because you see that same symbol right there. The Sumida aquarium is very famous for its penguins. And penguins molt their feathers a lot, and they take some of those feathers and they put them in little keychains with these little wooden frames, and that's what I have here. One of the penguin feathers, right there. I think that's adorable. Very cool. The thing about aquariums in Japan is that it seems like a lot of them are like more art institutions than like learning institutions. Like here, they're usually treated as like zoos or museums, essentially. Like zoos are basically museums, but with living artifacts instead of artifacts. And the same goes for aquariums. But over there, it seems like some of them are like more themed around, or more geared towards being like places to take pictures, or like just like a cool experience instead of like a learning experience. And I think Sumida is one of those, right? Sumida is like one of those. Very interesting. A different design philosophy for an aquarium. I don't know how I feel about it. Frankly, it feels really corporate, but like, I don't know. The animals don't seem particularly bad off, at least. So hopefully they're fine. Like I'll tell you, I saw some animals that were not very well off at some of the zoos I went to, and those were not in this. Those were like places of learning. So, yeah. Godzilla deck of cards. Anyone want to play Durak with me in my Godzilla deck of cards? Like you can see some examples there. Kinda. On the back you can see them better, perhaps. Like, sure, why not? A figure of the female player character from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I didn't realize they made these. And I was like, yeah, give me that. Look at that. She's so cute. And it comes with gum too. It comes with a little piece of gum. Let me see if I can pull it out. It comes with a little piece of gum. My dog ate one of these from my mom's haul. Well, he didn't eat it. He chewed it and then spit it out. Luckily, because that could have been really bad. Don't let your dog eat gum. King Ghidorah chopsticks. King Ghidorah chopsticks. They have like several different Godzilla chopsticks. Like these are from the Godzilla Hotel. These are crazy. I can't believe they made these. And they have like a little chopstick rest too of like destroyed buildings. I think it's specifically Osaka Castle. Maybe it looks like it. Very funny. I like silly things in my like merch designs. I got the Japanese version of Ace Attorney 4, Apollo Justice. I don't know why. I just saw it for cheap and I was like, sure. Oh man, here's another Yu-Gi-Oh game. I found a Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy game. I should have put this in the other video, but I've just missed it. Yeah, just another Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy game. Hippowdon figure. Got a bunch of these little Hamtaro finger puppets. This is Pashmina. Here's Pichu holding like a dish of some kind. I don't know why it is, but it's weird. I don't know what's going on there. Here's a little Dragon Quest guy. It's the little mummy guys from Dragon Quest. I just have little figures. I found this at a secondhand store. Here's a special limited edition Hamtaro in a Godzilla from the Awaji Island Park. He's special edition because he's camo for some reason. I don't know why. But he also has the Awaji Island logo on his butt. There's a better look at that art they have for that Shin Godzilla. But yeah, limited edition for some reason. Here's one of the towels I got. One of the washcloth towels I got from one of the zoos. This zoo had shoe bills, and so they had shoe bill merchandise. Oh, here's another Moncole, but this one is Walking Wake. You know I love Walking Wake. If you watch the other video, I adore this creature. Another Moncole for Galarian Rapidash, or not Rapidash, but Ponyta. Very cool design. Love it. Oh yeah, I showed this off in the other video, but I'll show it off here. It's the Dandelion figure I got from a blind box. There we go. It looks like shit, IMO, but it is very funny. Slightly bent Score Bunny figure. Here's just like a fucking bag of little Pokemon figures. These are like old ones. I just got them in one little bag. So we got Executor, Abra, Alakazam, Charmander, and Poliwrath, or Poliwhirl, I guess. These are like old ones, so I was pretty excited to see these. Kyurem finger puppet. Look how big that puppet gap is. It's huge. Save a lot on plastic that way, though. Which, by the way, is why they do the finger puppets, I'm pretty sure. It just saves on plastic. Another Hamtaro guy. I don't even remember who this guy is. Cappy? I don't know. But we also have Oxnard, of course. We got another Oxnard. I guess the other Oxnard wasn't a puppet. And then we have what are your name? What, Howdy? Is he Howdy? I know he was like southern over here. Here's that the other Yu-Gi-Oh game that we showed off last time. And I did pick up a Boo keychain from Super Mario World. I did go to Universal Studios. I did not go into Super Mario World really because that was extra for some reason. And I didn't care that much. I'm not really a Mario head, but I do like a Boo. Okay, we have once again hit the end of a bag. So I will be right back after I put this away and get another bag. All right, I'm back. Not obviously, since I was coming from Japan back to America with all this stuff, I didn't get a lot of plateware, the fragile things, you know, glass, silverware, or not like silverware is not so fragile, but like bowls and such. I did get a little bit because there was some really cool stuff. First off, let me show you this incredible piece, if it'll let me. Look at that. It's a bowl with trapinch at the bottom that looks like a fucking antlion pit, because that's what trapinch is an antlion, if you didn't know. Isn't that incredible? Look at that. It's from the Pokemon Center official. Very cool. I love this bowl. I had to figure out something to do with it. Obviously, it's like such a precious item. I don't think I would be using it for like eating, but I could store some like candies in here. There's like a little bowl of candies. Isn't that nice? I'm becoming old. All right. Next up, we have a cool mug. Can you get a good shot of look at that? Kinda. Be better if I took it out though. Yeah, look at that. It's more Hamtaro Godzilla crossover stuff, but various Hamtaro characters crossing over with various. Look at the Gigan with the fucking band with the two band Hamtaros. Mechagodzilla and Cappy. Look at that. Incredible stuff. Just a fantastic mug. That was from Awaji Island. They had some really cool stuff at Awaji Island. You know, including the Godzilla zip line, which I did do, despite the fact I am terribly afraid of heights. I braved it. If you get the opportunity to, I would suggest you do it too. It's not awful if you have a fear of heights. It's really bad, but it's not awful. And then lastly, I did get like a couple other things. So the thing is, this is not going to show you everything I got, because some stuff I got from my parents and from my sister. And it's not a lot for my sister because she was living there in Japan as a student. She was studying abroad, which is why we had my trip and my mom's trip to Japan. To be clear, made it a lot easier to do those kind of decisions, and I wasn't paying for it, you know, like, that kind of thing. So there's some stuff in that I'm not gonna be able to show off because it's not. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my parents. But yeah, here's this really wonderful Godzilla earthenware cup. Really cool. I love this. It just looks so fantastic. I was really like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I have to get that. That's like, how do I get that home? Like, how do I get that home? That was what made me start figuring that out. So yeah, very cool, these things. Very glad they came home safe. Let me put them away safely, and then I'll get back to everything else. All right, here's some of my extremely expensive items that I probably shouldn't have paid as much as I did for them, but they're really good deals compared to what they are in America, so I got them. For those who don't know, SH Figure Arts, SH Monster Arts are like pretty high quality figures. They made a Blue Eyes. They made a SH Monster Arts Blue Eyes recently, and Red Eyes too, which is really cool. I really like to have them. But they also made Sailor Moon figures. They have my favorite character, Venus, and my other favorite, I hesitate to say second favorite, I really like them both quite a lot, Mercury. They are quite expensive, but a lot less expensive than they are in America. And what's really less expensive is the Godzilla figures. Mechagodzilla. This guy is out of stock currently, so this guy is like over $200 here in America, and I did not pay that nearly that much for this guy. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but it was a lot less than that. I got a pretty good deal on him. He's out of box, which is what helps. He does have his stuff though. I have all his lightning bolt and such. But the reason why these guys are expensive is because they're supremely posable. Like, he even can go flying mode. He's got enough articulation to do that. Like, and look at these. Like they did. There's so much detailing in every aspect of these guys. But I didn't just get Mechagodzilla. I also got Godzilla. This is Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. You might be wondering what's the difference between that costume and some of the other costumes. Not a whole lot, but there is little differences here and there. This is one of my favorite Godzilla designs of all time. The Heisei era Godzilla is, I think, peak Godzilla, frankly. But I'm also, you know, I'm pretty into the 70s Godzilla. The 70s Godzilla is a really, like, especially late period Showa era Godzilla, I think is a pretty cool design, actually. And so I have that too. These guys are like super expensive, and I've got them for probably at least, like, I mean, the decent percent less than what they cost here. You know, it's I hesitate to like give a price because I'm not exactly sure if I'm right on that. But like, I've been wanting SH Godzilla figures for so long, and to finally start my collection at least a little bit, even though I'll probably never be able to afford another one again, because unless I go to Japan again, is really cool. I'm very happy to finally have some of these. I've been wanting them for such a long time, that it feels nice to finally have them. Speaking of, oh man, can't see that very well. It's a Nendoroid. It's Marnie from Pokemon, and it has the pre-order bonus. I got this from a secondhand store, but it has the pre-order bonus where you get the Hangry mode Morpeko with her as well. I like Nendos quite a lot. They're just a bit expensive for what they are, but I was very happy to find this for a decent price at a secondhand store. And I also have another bag. I actually want to show off this bag too, because I got this from, let's see if I can show this off well. It's a Kiki delivery service bag. I got this from the why am I blanking on the name of the animation studio? Ghibli, the Ghibli store, Studio Ghibli store. Ghibli, Studio Ghibli. That sounds right. That sounds better. And I'm using it to store all my statues. Everything statue, or most things statue oriented. Obviously, some of the things I showed earlier are more statue oriented as well. So let's show off some of those. Have Marnie right there. This is old school Mogera. For those who have watched Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and haven't watched the Mysterians, this is what Mogera used to look like. This is what inspired the modern Mogera, which looks so much better. It's a crazy little thing. I like having him. I got the girl from Witch of Mercury, or Witch of Mars. I haven't watched this show, but from what I've seen, I am going to like it when I eventually do. So I figured I'd just go ahead and get this while it was cheap in Japan, and I was already in Japan, you know? Okay, here's a really interesting thing. This is Iono's coat. There's like a series of, I think they were gacha prizes as well. They come with a little acrylic stand of her signature Pokemon, the Bellybolt. Get a better look at that. There's like a series of things that are just like the clothes of like popular Pokemon trainers. Par exemple, we've got Marnie. We've got Marnie's outfit as well, with the Morpeko acrylic you can't see because it's behind this black slab. I don't know why the black slab is there, but yeah, they just like we got both of them right there, Marnie and Iono, two of my favorite characters. So I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll take that. Okay, here's some more Nendoroids. We've got blue or green, depending on whether you're Japanese or English. And Oh, hold up. Let me get this back in order. Red. Got them both. They were like a 2-part thing. It was so like there's a different red that looks a little different, and he's got like Pokemon with him. These ones don't have Pokemon with them. They just have the Pokeballs. They're there. They're cool. I like them a lot. They're like special edition stuff. It's pretty neat. Here's all their extra parts. So I do have that as well. They're out of box. So it could have gone missing, but it didn't. That was nice. Here's a little statue from a blind box. It's the baby Tinkaton. I don't remember her name. Like getting stuck in a spiderweb and getting mad at the Shuppet for some reason. It was again, it was part of a blind box of spooky themed ones. And it was really cute. Like all of them were really cute. This was not my favorite of the bunch, but it was like, yeah, if I like all of them, I might as well just go for it. Cloud. Just Cloud, Final Fantasy VII. There's like a little tiny statue of him. Little tiny figure. Here's another one of those Pokemon blind boxes. This one's Jirachi. I don't know how to put this together. It doesn't seem... I think it's broken or something. It doesn't seem to want to stay together. But it is very cute. Here's another one of those. This one's a Corsola like bauble. It's supposed to look like there's water in there. And there's just like Corsola in there. Okay, here's a little bit of Evangelion stuff. We've got Asuka in the fucking synergizing outfit, the one where she and Shinji are supposed to wear the same outfit. I don't know why this is what they went with for this. It's like a part of a gacha line too, I think, because there's also a very similar Mitsurugi. That's her name, right? Oh man, if I just called her the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh archetype, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. And so they had the same base and everything. So I think they're part of like a similar line of some sort. But I don't know why they went with that outfit for Asuka instead of like a default outfit. Speaking of though, the next thing is actually from another gacha line. Ooh. Oh wait. First up, here's a little tiny Finneon. It's supposed to go in that little bauble, and here's the cork that's supposed to like keep it in place, but it doesn't. And there's like, this is a stand for someone. Oh, this is a stand for right. I remember now. Okay, so here's the gacha thing I was telling you about. I just showed you a little bit, a sneak peek. This is coming apart a little bit because her neck is so long. This is Sailor Mars, Ray, just like in her shrine outfit sweeping. She stands on her own, so she doesn't need a stand like this. This stand is actually for Sailor Venus, who is in her Sailor V outfit instead of her Sailor Venus outfit. Real heads know. Yeah, it's supposed to like go on one of these legs to keep her standing up because she does not stand up on her own. And then this thing is actually a beach blanket and a face down book because Mercury is in a swimsuit outfit for some reason. She just fell apart. I pushed her leg in and her arm fell out. Horrifying. All right, there you go. You can get a better look at her. They're all part of the same set, so I was like, oh, okay, sure. I'll just grab them all. Oh, okay, and here's here's her cap. Her cap is in here. It doesn't fit very well. It's like supposed to just kind of stay on. See what I mean? It doesn't. It just kind of is supposed to just stay on, and it doesn't. So it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to clear all this off, and then we'll get into the plushie parade. Actually, before the plushie parade, We'll probably do one other thing. I've got a different thing to do instead of the plushie parade first. We'll finish with the plushie parade. I want to finish with plushie parade because it's a long one. I got so many plushies. Okay, so this is a little bit not in the spirit of the video because I did not get these on my Japan trip, but I did get these from a convention, and they are Japanese. They're imports. They're a bunch of old-ass video games. I thought you might like to see them just because I'm showing off all this other stuff anyways. So this is an Ultraman game for the Nintendo 64. I'm just going to go through them real quick because I do have a lot of them, so it needs to be quick. This is a cool little thing. I don't know what the hell this is, but it seems to be some sort of soccer game where you play with Gundam, Godzilla, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman. I don't know what's going on there, but I wish I did know. Here's Pokemon Stadium. And for those who don't know, there's a Pokemon Stadium 2, and then there's a Pokemon Stadium Gold and Silver, which is, I think, our Pokemon Stadium 2. Here's Pokemon Snap. It looks really weird. Here's Pokemon something. I think this is Hey You Pikachu or something like that. Oh, here's the Pokemon Stadium 2 I was talking about. Here's some Ultraman game. Pokemon Dash. You remember Pokemon Dash for the DS? It's the only DS game in here, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, here's the Pokemon trading card game GB. That one we never got stateside. I really wish we did. I would love to play more Pokemon Game Boy Color. Some Ultraman Game Boy Color game. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh one. Dark Duel Stories 2. These ones, I think all these are in the early collection now. There's this one is, I don't even remember, but it's like, it comes in like, it's the same game, but it comes in like 3 parts for each Egyptian god. I don't exactly know what's going on with that. And it has like the extra battery in there too. Like the extra like bump there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh wait, there's not a DS game, but a 3DS game even. Oh yeah, here's the Capsule Creatures GB or whatever. That's also in early days collection. I mean, it doesn't matter. It can go either one. Some Ultraman game. Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance. Do have Pokemon Moon here. As well as talk about the 3DS game. Another Yu-Gi-Oh game with a big 3 on it. Got Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire, which are a lot cheaper in the Japanese copy than they are in the American copy. This might be a lot of games here. These are all a lot cheaper than they would be if I got the American versions. The American English Pokemon games are like crazy expensive, but the Japanese versions, not so much. Another Ultraman game. I just found like a bunch of Ultraman games. I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And here's the like the first Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy game. Here's a Tag Force 2 for the PSP. And then in these rubber bands, we have the good stuff. We got Crystal, Red, Green, Blue, Yellow, Silver, and Gold. All the color, the Game Boy / Game Boy Color games. So yeah, I just wanted to show those off since I was already showing off games. I figured or showing off old stuff I got from Japan. These are all stuff from Japan, so I figured I might as well do that. Really cool to get all these Japanese versions of these games. I think they're going to be really cool display pieces when I have room to display them. If I was a flesh tuber, I would like put them behind me in some sort of case or something as a background piece for the streams or whatever. But I don't need to do that. I've got a cool, funky background of red and purple and a castle. So I don't need any of that. All right. I'm going to put this bag off to the side. I actually probably don't even need to cut here unless that noise is super loud. And now it's time for a plushie parade. Oh, what to start with, I have way too many plushies. I am so plushie pilled. Every time I get an Alestrals box, I'm more excited about the plushie I get than I am the cards themselves. I am a plushie maniac. By the way, did you see that Alestrals is doing a thing where you get the stellar plushies now? You can get stellar plushies now. Isn't that cool? It's like a random chance too. A really weird way of doing it. All right, I guess let's start with my favorite. Oh my god, you can't see it very well. Sleeping Jirachi. This guy is so cute and he's so soft. Look at how fucking furry he is. Sleeping Jirachi. This guy glows in the dark too. This, and his face all glow in the dark. Isn't that awesome? I love him. He's so fucking cool. I adore that guy. Oh god, how am I going to do all this? Okay. Smoliv. One person in the audience will specifically remember this. That would be Frog Prince Michael. Frog Prince Michael a while back got me this plushie off of my throne. And you might be wondering, why is this in your Japan video then? Well, because it didn't actually happen. They didn't have... There was some issue with it, so they just gave me the money instead, and then I forgot to ever actually go back and get the item. So I just pocketed the money, and then while I was in Japan, I saw this. I was like, okay, I'll just grab this instead. There we go, perfect, problem solved. Because I do want this guy. I love him. Look at him. He's so sad. Why are you so sad? Something fell over. Don't be shocked because there's a lot of stuff around me. This is my favorite plushie brand of all time. The Pokemon Fit, as they're called in Japan. They're called Pokemon Sitting Cuties here in America. That's like the branding they've used in America. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're not super expensive as a whole. In Japan, they are dirt cheap. These guys go for like a couple, like maybe 10 at the most. $10. I mean. This is Reshiram. The cool thing about these plushies is that they give underserved plushie characters their own plushies. Like, this guy is so complicated. How are you going to make a plushie of him? Here they did it. And they did it in like a little small, cute, sitting guy way. Just like to show off. I also, I did the pre-order for Pokemon Legends Arceus and got the sitting cutie Arceus as well. It's just like such a perfect little plushie design for getting some of these underrated guys plushies. I love it. Some of these I got from Pokemon Center. A lot of them I got from Book Off. Book Off was a great place if you're looking to get these plushies. Like Sceptile, I love Sceptile. He's my favorite guy. He's my favorite Pokemon. I adore him. If you're looking to get these, you'll want to look at Book Off. Book Off is going to have a ton of these. They're a secondhand store. They're really nice. I like them a lot. Speaking of something I found from a Book Off, here's a really old school Meowth plush. Isn't that neat? I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, this is like some old school shit. Look at those eyes. So yellowed too. I was like, oh, I have to have that. That's so cool. I might not be able to actually put the plushies there because I have some really big plushies to show off, like this guy. Clodsire. Hi, I'm Clodsire. It's huge. It's so wonderful. I love this guy. He was so hard to get and fit in anything. He's very soft and plush too. Like, yes. He's very well stuffed. As a Clodsire should be. This is also a big guy. Got the Hisuian Stantler evolution. Pretty big, but like the thing is, he was really cheap. 880 yen. Like that's something like $6 or something like that. No, like less than that, like $5 probably. it's like it was like around it's like around 60% of the original price of like if you put like a decimal point after the 100 mark. So I was like, yeah, I'll take a big ass plushie for that little. And that same philosophy led me to owning a Trapinch plushie. Trapinch is also one of my favorites. I do really love the Trapinch design. He's so cool. And having a giant one of him, perfect. I of course got a plushie of that fuck ass sushi fish, just like I got the finger puppet of him, just like, and it's another big one. Here's another sitting cutie, Skarmory. Skarmory hard to do with the wings. They kind of look like shit a little bit, unfortunately, but I like Skarmory a lot. I'm glad to see some Skarmory representation. I think this is probably the only plushie Skarmory has ever had, which is unfortunate. Speaking of, I think this is the only plushie Regirock has ever had. It's certainly Regirock. Oh, Giratina origin form, sitting cutie. Fuck, dude, that's so goddamn cool. I love this guy. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna show you some non-Pokemon stuff. Well, I don't have like they're in the order that they are. So here's a Bastiodon, sitting cutie. Again, like just the guy who would never get a plushie otherwise. Sitting cutie guarantees everyone gets a plushie. But I got a lot of plushies at like zoos and stuff too. Here's a red panda. This was the zoo in Osaka that I was just like right next to when I was staying there. Love that hotel. The Joytel there in Osaka in Nipponbashi. Not to like advertise for them, but like it was a really nice hotel compared to some of the other places I stayed. It's just a really cute red panda plushie. They had really cute red pandas there, so they have a really cute red panda plushie. Speaking of really cute plushies, here's a really fucking cute, adorable otter I got from one of the aquariums. You know, they don't really have otters so much in their aquariums over there. I guess otters aren't really a common thing over there maybe as much, but they do have a cute otter plushies. Like, I don't remember seeing a lot of otters like I would here in America because we have like the otters off the coast of California. Fucking Shoebill plushie, Nightmare Bird plushie. Let's fucking go. And oh, we gotta look at his legs. Look at them. Look at them legs. Look at them gams. Giant Kabuto plushie. I love Kabuto. I love giant Kabuto plushie. I got this for fucking about like $8 maybe. I was like, this is huge for an $8 plushie, and it's so nice and squish. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna get that. And then later on, I found the Ammonite to go with it. I found the Ammonite to go with it. I was like, yes, it's perfect. I have to have it. He was a little bit more, but I was like, that's perfect. Remember how I said there's gonna be more of the Hamtaro Godzilla stuff? Well, here it is. More of the Hamtaro Godzilla stuff. They got plushies of it. Isn't that crazy? Here's a Palace Cat. This does not look as crazy as a Palace Cat. The Palace Cats have like the funniest faces. It was really cool to see them there. But you know, this is cute too. Very cute. This huge Mew winking at you. Awesome plushie. Wooloo, and it's all woolly too. Isn't that cool? Oh, that's so good. Love this guy. Fucking woolly ass Wooloo. I got another Jirachi plushie because I adore Jirachi. Oh, this is so big I can't even show you very well. There he is. That's the best I could do, I think. I love Jirachi. He's so cool. I love Jirachi. You know what else I love? Plesiosaurs. This is from the the National Science Museum in Tokyo, because they have a fairly complete plesiosaur skeleton. That's like one of their big claims to fame, is they have a big plesiosaur skeleton. So the plesiosaur has kind of become a bit of their like mascot a little bit. Futabasaurus, they call it there. Really cool. I like this plushie a lot too. It's really nice. I actually have a keychain version of this as well. We might see it later. Okay, now I got to get to some of the stuff that has been buried by stuff I've put down. Okay, there we go. Mothra plushie. I think this was from Don Quixote. It's got little tabs to keep the wings straight. It's pretty cute. I like Mothra. I like plushies. I like Mothra plushie. Simple as. Here's an adorable little score bunny. This is like I think this is like a specific brand, like I don't know the name of it, but it's pretty desirable. But I just think it's really cute, so I don't give a shit. Capybara, capybara plush. It's not particularly plushy. It's very hard for some reason, but it is a capybara. So capybara fans rejoice. Speaking of plushies that are a little too hard to actually be good plushies, tardigrade. They have a fucking National Science Museum had a fucking tardigrade plushie, and I was like, okay, well, I have to have that. That's just that's just an insane thing to make a plushie of. What are we doing here? Here's a awesome Cresselia plushie that unfortunately got really squished in the way over and is now like just really that unfortunately bent up. It adds character, I suppose, but it's a really nice fluffy Cresselia plushie. I like it a lot, and it was pretty cheap, about the same as that Ammonite. Wingull sitting cutie. Or is this even a sitting cutie? This is a Bandai Spirits, actually. I don't think this is actually a sitting cutie. But Wingull plushie nonetheless. I love this guy. This guy is so cool. I love that his wings are all folded up. It's so cute. Now he's going to stare at you. I've hired this bird to stare at you. Coelacanth's keychain. It's like a little small plushie size for a keychain, but I need a bigger tree than the one I just showed you at the beginning of towards the beginning of the video, because he's a little bit bigger than that. Stunfisk. It's got the fucking Stunfisk plushie. This is from Bandai Spirits again. It's just completely flat. It's just barely even a plushie. It feels like more like a dog toy. A whale shark plushie. I had to get a whale shark plushie. I knew as soon as I entered the whale shark zone, I was going to have to get a whale shark plushie. He also, you can gag him if you want to, I guess. If he ate something important, you can gag him and make him throw it up. Kecleon sitting cutie. Or again, Pokemon Fit is what they call it in Japan. I think Kecleon is an underrated guy. I like him. I think that way about a lot of Hoenn creatures, though, because I really love Pokemon Emerald. A Winking Umbreon plushie. I gotta move some of this stuff to make it easier to actually show these off. Winking Umbreon plushie. Okay, here's a fucked up one that you aren't gonna know unless you know the show. Osumatsu-san. Ichan? I don't remember which one he is. Ichi? I don't. Again, I don't. This thing was like $1 at most, maybe $1.50. But this is from Osumatsu-san, a really great comedy. If you haven't watched it before, I just thought it was really funny that they made a plushie of him. Why not? Bandai Spirit. Let's go. Oh, here's the keychain version I told you about. It literally is the same plushie, but a keychain form. Like they just made it smaller and adjusted some of the stuff to make it smaller. Work as a smaller creature. And then this is a lemonade stand, a Alolan Raichu or something like that. It's or I guess it's not a Alolan Raichu. I don't think it's actually just Raichu. It just looks like a Alolan Raichu because it's a little bluer than it should be. This is like this is another one of those like collector sets. I think these go for actually quite a bit of money, but I just think it's really cute, so I'm keeping it. This is just an adorable raccoon dog, Tanuki. He's really plush too. He's like got almost like feel like memory foam in him or something. It's awesome. I love him. He's so cute. Look how he's a fucking chonker, dude. Having trouble with the bag here now. Bag's starting to try. He's like, no, don't show them that. Baniri. One of the ears is all curled up, as Baniris do, and then she's holding an Oran berry. Isn't that adorable? I like that they're holding berries. Oarfish keychain plushie. I like oarfish. I think they're neat. Panda eating an apple keychain. This is we went to Ueno Zoo where they famously have a couple of pandas, like not red pandas but pandas, and so I was like, okay, I gotta get something panda themed. This is a really cool keychain I got from the Pokemon Center. It's a knocked out Meowscarada. This is like a set they have, like just like Pokemon that are knocked out. I don't know why they have like a fucking set of Pokemon keychains where it's like, yeah, this is your Pokemon after they faint. But like, it's like insane, right? So I was like, I have to have that. That's insane. Sandslash sitting cutie. I think Sandslash is awesome. It's really cool. It's a really cool Pokemon. I was just to say Mon, but it just feels weird. Doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth. Little Axew plushie. I think Axew's adorable. Seviper Pokemon Slitting Cutie. It's Pokemon Fit. When I tell you that Pokemon Fit Sleeping Cuties is all about giving underrepresented Pokemon plushies, this is what I fucking mean, dude. I love Seviper, and this is the only way he would ever get a plushie. Like, come on, that's so cool. Wishy-Washy. If you get enough of these, you can build your own Wishy-Washy big form. Whatever the fuck that's called. I got this from the Sumida Aquarium. Like I said, they had a very big penguin theme, so I was like, I'll get a penguin. And it's like another keychain I can put with that keychain collection. Oh, I also got another panda thing. Really soft, cute panda plushie. He's got a big beanie butt there. Big bean butt. Any bean butt heads in chat? I like him. He's neat. He's very soft. Dracky plushie. Dragon Quest fans rejoice. There are Dracky plushies. I love Dracky. He's one of my favorite Dragon Quest guys, and it's surprisingly hard to find any Dracky merchandise. Obviously I like him because he's a fucking bat and I'm a vampire, but like it's surprisingly hard to find the merch of him, despite how cute he is. And iconic from what I understand. Okay, this was hard to get out. Here's like it looks like a decently old Rayquaza plushie. I think the reason I think it's old is because it's getting a lot of balling. Like the plush fabric is starting to ball up, which makes me feel like it's old and has been like through the wash a couple of times maybe. But it's really big, cool Rayquaza plushie. I like this a lot. I love Rayquaza. Again, I love my Hoenn guys so much. Any Kiki's Delivery Service fans in chat? I mean, I already saw the bag that I got. I also got a Hawaiian shirt there. It was like Kiki's Delivery Service themed. Really cute. It looks so nice. And I got this. the fucking cat. Oh my god! I can't believe they had a plushie of the cat. It's so good. Oh, it's so fucking cool. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. Now, oops, sorry for that. Mic hit. When I say that Pokemon Fit is about giving underserved Pokemon their time in the sun. This is what I mean. Confagrigus plushie. He's barely a plushie. Like, feel that. Like, you can't feel it, obviously, but I'm telling you, it does not feel good to squish. Clauncher. Like, huge fucking claws just dangling off. It's great. I found this Elekid. Pretty nice. This is like one of the first things I bought there. There's a brand called Mofusand, I think, actually, like with a D. And it's just like this cute fucking cat with this like non-existent face. It's just like no facial expression whatsoever. It like in outfits, like the shark outfit right here. It's an adorable brand. There's a whole store in Osaka, but I got this from a Don Quixote like my first day there. It's so soft and so big and I love them. A little Dragonite plushie. Nothing much to say about that. Little moray eel. This is like the same as that Tanuki thing. It's got that same kind of squish material. It's like a little tiny moray eel. I'm a big eel fan. I love eels. I like eel as a flavor too, which is unfortunate. I like eels as an animal. Like, I like them a lot, but I do like the taste of eel. It's like, there's like a fishier fish. It's good stuff. I had a unagi rice while I was there, and I was like, oh yes, man. And the sauce they make to go with eel, fantastic. One of my favorite sauces. Here's another one of those Pokemon eating a berry. This is Minun eating a berry. It's cute. There's like a whole line of them, apparently. Look at this old-ass Ivysaur plush. So cute. Oh my god, it's so like squunched. Oh. Again, like just $1.50 for this. It's like an old like thing. Like, look at the way they did the eyes back then, right? Like, that's old. Vintage, even. So you remember how there was a Sanrio Yu-Gi-Oh crossover over at McDonald's, but nobody who was worth talking to did that? That's not fair. There's some people who did that and just whatever choices you make, that's your choice. But a lot of people didn't do it because of the BDS boycott on McDonald's. The thing about this is that McDonald's was like an unofficial part of it for a while. It was like a organic kind of thing, and I don't care so much about those, because I think the targeted boycotts are like way more important when you're talking about boycotts. Targeted specific boycotts. But, a lot of people just didn't go to McDonald's because they didn't feel comfortable going to McDonald's because of the way McDonald's is supporting Israel's occupation of Palestine. But you know what? Sometimes you go to a secondhand store and you find it anyways. So I was able to pick this up at a book off. You can see the book off tag right there. And that was neat. So I did get at least one of the Yu-Gi-Oh tie-in guys, the obelisk Penguin Freak. I don't know any of the Sanrio guys. I'm just going to assume his name is Penguin Freak. Don't correct me. Shin Godzilla middle form plushie. This guy's awesome, dude. I fucking love this. It's so funny. Little tiny Godzilla spikes on him. Like, this is so funny. I adore that. Here's the Electric. I don't remember if that's his name or Tynamo. I think his name is actually Tynamo. Yeah. Nah. Bah. Tynamo plushie, though. Oh, wait. Here's the sea turtle. I knew there was something missing from my display. There's a sea turtle guy as well. I'm going to put him on my tree just right now. Live on camera. You can't see it, though. When I say that City Cuties is about giving underrepresented Pokemon plushies. This is what I mean. Relicant's fucking sitting cutie fucking plushie. Look at that, dude. That's so fucking cool. Relicant, I love him. Durant. This is like a tiny, tiny, tiny Durant plushie that's like, oh, this is probably like a McDonald's toy or something, maybe. I don't know. Oh, here's another one. The whale shark. Of course I had a whale shark. What? Duh. I'll go put this up on my tree as well. Right there, perhaps. It'll hang out with the Anomalocaris. In case you're worried about that Shoebill plushie being too big, I also have a keychain version for my keychain, larger keychain tree when I have one. So look at these fucked up legs, dude. Look at this fuck ass seal, dude. It's so squish. It's got the beans in there. It almost is like the fucking slime I showed off earlier, except it's not that kind of squish. It's a different kind of squish. It's the bean kind of squish. But it has that same kind of weight to it, despite being a small object, that it feels really satisfying. I'm not neurodivergent, though. Definitely not. I'm definitely not. I'm normal. All right. The last things for this video, we've got Rodan and King Ghidorah in the Godzilla Friends like style. They made plushies of them. Isn't that fucking awesome? And they're pretty squish. I don't want to squish them too much because they're fucking in these plastic bags still. But they're so squish. I love these. They're so cute. I like how the King Ghidorah heads have different moods. Like one's happy, one's like content, and then one's evil. and Rodan just looks so happy. He's so pleased. So pleased with life. All right. That is everything I got in Japan, other than the stuff that was in the other video. And also a little bit more than what I did get in Japan. Holy moly. This has been like a 2 hours video, I think. I can't see anymore. Yep, 2 hours. I probably cut it down a little bit, but not a whole lot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all this. I really appreciate all the support. I really, really love my time in Japan. You guys didn't really help with that, but you didn't hurt. And I really had a fun time showing off what I got. You might be thinking though, like after seeing all that, like, oh, you're like actually rich, right? Because you bought all that stuff. I made sure to buy most of this shit at like the cheapest I could. I got all of it. Really, it was like just like some of it I couldn't get cheap. You know, I splurged a little bit for sure, but that was like a one-time thing. I don't make any income. I rely on the fact that I had an income before. I had an income and it's gone now. But this was like a one-time thing going to Japan. Hopefully not a one-time thing. Hopefully I'll be able to go again sometime. I would really love to. It was a nice time. And next time I would like to just kind of vibe a bit more. Last time I went, I really went hard on. I said like I went to like 5 aquariums, like 2 zoos, Universal. I was going places all the time. I would like to vibe a little bit more next time. I think that's kind of the way a second trip to a place goes. But maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would go to other places, right? Like I went to Osaka and Tokyo. I'd like to go to Osaka again, but I'd also like to try going to Hokkaido and stuff like that. But that's just I'm just trying to explain that. I'm a little uncomfortable with the fact that I just showed off so much money worth of stuff. But it's just because I had saved up a lot of money. And I have a very comfortable safety net of being able to live with my parents, which is very fortunate of me, frankly, which is why I always say when it comes to supporting me, you don't have to, right? I have a safety net that keeps me safe. If you want to support me, go for it. At least for now. Like, I do intend to move out hopefully soon. God willing, and the creek don't rise. I would like to move out sometime this year, please, God. But, you know, until that happens, I am safe. Don't worry about me. But, you know, if you like what I do and you wanted to help support, the Patreon's always there. All right. That's way more than I needed to say there. But I just got uncomfortable. Welcome to being me. But I'm definitely normal. I'm not I'm not neurodivergent at all. No way, how? I like how my talk sprite freaks out when I laugh. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm getting delirious, I think, so I'm gonna go. Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Oh, wait, shit. I forgot to show you one thing. I got a fucking Magikarp hat. Like, here, like, look, it's a hat you wear on your head. It's a fucking Magikarp hat like in Pokemon Go. Isn't that fucking cool? Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too can find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity. In particular, I'd like to thank Haru Hayes, Fleekill, Frog Prince Michael, the Almighty Ferret Lord, and Fire Mizumi. A big thanks to all my other patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye.